Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to give you guys a heads up on a great historic low game deal. Now, it's a bit of an older game and it's gonna be a little bit dated. However, those are sometimes still incredibly enjoyable games to go through. So, want to give you guys a heads up on that. A couple of other games from that studio is on sale, and then a bunch of other deals. I want to highlight a bunch of deals under $3 to $4, and then at the end of this video we will be looking at some more expensive deals. I know you guys love when I mention the games that are $50, $60. There won't be any of that, but there will be a $24 game and games that are just a little bit more expensive. But with that being said, let's get right into it and let's kick things off with Indigo Prophecy Remastered, which is 90% off for 99 cents. Now, this is the game that put Quantic Dream on the map, at least to me, and it is a game that I can totally understand when this game came out. It was revolutionary. It was very impressive. Visually, it looked great. Narratively, it was incredibly compelling. However, you go back and play this game in the year 2025, it's gonna be a little bit dated. The camera work isn't the best. Some of the dialogue isn't the best, but overall, I played this game, I want to say, not that long after it came out on Steam. So we're talking like 2015, 2016, and I still had an enjoyable experience out of it. Now, bear in mind, that was a decade ago, but for 99 cents, I very much think it's a worthwhile pickup, and I would definitely recommend it. And if you want to see a game that was, maybe saying revolutionary would be a bit of a stretch, but where Quantic Dream kind of found their footing in terms of these narrative-heavy games, I think Indigo Prophecy is very much a worthwhile game to play through. And back in the day, it was one of those games that was absolutely beloved. Kind of doesn't get that reception anymore, but nonetheless, 99 cents on that is great. A couple of other games from one Quantic Dream. We do have Heavy Rain. That is $1.99 right now. Heavy Rain is awesome. Heavy Rain is a game that I played right when it came out, and I really liked Heavy Rain. Once again, the Quantic Dream games are just gonna be titles that do show their age a little bit, like it is what it is, but Heavy Rain was another game that back in 2010 when it came out, I was blown away by this game from a visual standpoint. I thought narratively it was incredibly compelling. Now, bear in mind, again, the Quantic Dream titles, if you're not familiar with them, they are very narrative heavy, light on gameplay, quick time events, things of that nature. It's not like you'll get a gameplay-oriented action experience or anything like that, but narratively, the games can be incredibly compelling, and I would put Heavy Rain in that incredibly compelling category. I should have mentioned, with Heavy Rain and with the Quantic Dream titles, decision-based games in general, I highly recommend you to play this game blind. I know you can look up guides, you can look up, oh, do this, do that to get the ending you want, etc., etc. The aspect of this game that's incredibly compelling is the decision-making, and decision-making is the best when it's consequential. If you're lessening the consequence, if you're totally eliminating that consequence by just knowing what to do, it kind of eliminates the reasoning of playing the game. Yeah, you can play it out as a narrative, and it's fine in that regard, but I think the consequential decision-making makes the game so much more engaging. So $1.99 on that, I think, is great. Beyond Two Souls is $1.99. This is generally considered to be the worst Quantic Dream title. I played it when it came out, and I thought it was okay. I thought it was fine, but coming off the heels of Heavy Rain, I definitely did not think it was as good as Heavy Rain, but it's still a serviceable game, all things considered, and I still think there's some fun to be had. And I think there's a decent story to go through. It does just become incredibly disjointed and definitely not as good as Heavy Rain in my opinion. But for $1.99, I don't think that's a terrible pickup. So those are the Quantic Dream deals. Detroit Become Human is not on sale right now, but I'm sure it'll be on sale for the for the winter sale that's coming up. That's the thing. Like, all these deals are probably going to repeat themselves for the winter sale, so keep that in mind as well. Under the Waves is 90% off for $2.99. This is a historic low for Under the Waves. Stan, a professional diver in the North Sea, is struggling to overcome a life-changing loss during an extended mission underwater. Stuck in his self-imposed solitude, he starts to experience strange events and will have to make the most significant choice of his life. Underwater exploration title, 1,100 Steam user reviews, 77% positive there, $2.99, a historic low on that. Marlow, Briggs, and the Mask of Death is 99 cents. This is a game that I always give a shout out to whenever it's super cheap. It is very much akin to, like, a budget PS2 game back in the day. Like the PlayStation 2 era, you just had all of these games that were high on kind of the action-heavy explosions and whatnot. Not incredible visuals. I mean, it's like on the level of a PS2 era game, but it's still a fun time for 99 cents. 1,800 reviews, 90% positive. $1 for it, I think, is the perfect price point. I certainly wouldn't be paying anything more than that, but if you just want an over-the-top action game, I think you'll have some fun with this. Just keep your expectations in line, and it's a decent pickup. Driver Parallel Line, 75% off for $249. I know Driver's a beloved franchise. You were the fastest wheelman on the street. You were a legend. You were money until they set you up and sent you down 28 years inside for someone else's crime. Now you're getting out. Guess what? You got a job, and it's called getting revenge. That is the description of, like, this era of games. Mid-2000s revenge stories. Yeah, that's about every mid-2000s revenge story. They locked you up, and now you're coming out, and you're gonna go get what's yours. It's like, okay, buddy. But, yo, there's a certain charm and, you know, an appeal to that kind of narrative, and Driver is a classic franchise that's beloved by a lot of people. $249 on that, good pickup there. Geometry Wars Retro Evolve, 50% off for $1.99. This will be available for another day or so. I love Geometry Wars. I remember I got Geometry Wars as a downloadable game on the Xbox Live Arcade on the 360, and I got so addicted to the game. The flashy visuals, the arcade twin-stick shooter gameplay, and I wasn't big into this genre or anything like that, but I think Geometry Wars was only 400 Microsoft points as well, which was essentially $5, and yeah, had a great time with it. I mean, it's a lot of fun. They have sequels for it, of course, but for $1.99, can't go wrong with Geometry Wars. ARMA 2 is $2.59. You can get Combined Operations for $4.99, Anniversary Edition for $9.99, and then there's a Veterans Pack for $103. My vivid memory of ARMA 2 was the DayZ mod coming out in ARMA 2, like, rocketing up to being a top seller on Steam. But as far as a realistic, authentic shooter, I know a lot of people had a lot of fun with it, but DayZ was my jam back in the day. Like, you guys remember how big DayZ was when it initially came out? Man, that game was huge and really elevated ARMA 2's notoriety even more. Like, people were literally buying ARMA 2 just to play DayZ. But nevertheless, there you go with that, $259 on that. Max Payne 1 and 2, wanted to give you these games a shout. You get the Max Payne bundle for $449. Max Payne 1 is $349, and Max Payne 2 is $249. So if you were to buy them separately, it would be like $6. You know, buying the bundle for $450, pretty good price point on that. I know Max Payne 1 and 2 are getting a remake being done by Remedy, however, and Remedy did do the first two titles as well. But yeah, if you want to play the originals, these are really good price points, and obviously gonna be a little bit of a throwback, a little bit dated at this point, given that they came out in the early 2000s, but worthwhile pickups nonetheless. Definitely a good shout there. And then lastly, we do have a couple of more expensive games. Granblue Fantasy Relink is 60% off for $23.99. I love this as an action RPG. I thought it had a lot of vibrance to it. The character designs were great. Narratively, it is pretty disjointed in the sense that they kind of drop you in the middle of the Granblue universe, and it's kind of confusing to put together, but the gameplay is where Granblue really shines, and for $24, I think this is a worthwhile pickup. I wish that there would have been more post-launch content and things of that nature, but, you know, it is what it is. Came out well over a year ago, almost 2 years ago at this point. Hopefully they do eventually do another Granblue title, because I think certainly there's a lot of mileage to this, and it was received fairly well, so check that out. And then Granblue Fantasy vs. Rising is 70% off for $14.99 as well. This is actually a historic low for this game. Fighting game within the Granblue universe. Amazing art direction in this game. Arc System Works. You can see the Arc System Works touch in this game for sure, but $14.99 on that. Definitely a good pickup there if you do want a stylish anime fighter. But that is going to do it for me. Again, that deal on Indigo Prophecy I think is great, even if that game is going to be quite a bit dated. I think there's still a lot of people that are going to end up enjoying it if you do want a narrative-heavy game. Great deal on Heavy Rain. Beyond Two Souls I'm not as crazy about, but a ton of other great deals. Max Payne, Marlow Briggs at 99 cents. Not a bad shout there, but some good stuff across the board. Check it all out. Links in the description box below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.